my God, I fucking made it. I'm here. Whoa, I planned this live stream for like 4:30 yesterday and then forgot I had a healing session today at 11 and then had a night project. So I'm here. This is really going to be a pretty fast and dirty live because I wanted to show up the way I do after dealing with a massive fucking trigger and talk you guys through it because I know so many of you are finally like playing in your realm of genius or breaking through to your next level and really ready to go there. And like going there means into the most terrifying place that you can imagine. And for me, that is co creation. I, my whole life, have been a bossy bitch. I was one of those people that during school, when we were given school projects, like group projects, the first group meeting, I'd be like, guys, everybody okay if I just do this and like tell you what to do later and we'll all just get an A? Yeah, we're good? Cool. And would just manifest people who were probably super lazy, loved that idea, didn't want, like, no one ever gave me pushback. Apparently, I've actually always been a very terrifying person. That's something I've been becoming aware of, talking to people from my past. Like, that's not how I experienced myself. I didn't feel like I was very intimidating or scary, but apparently I was. So people just gave me what I wanted because they were totally afraid of me. The irony being that I was totally afraid of everyone else. Like, how could they come back at me? So, a little background. You all know that I am creating this Dragons Retreat with two beautiful women, Olivia and Megan, who I met at the Goddess Retreat that I was at earlier this month in like over Lionsgate. And when we were at the retreat, because we were all equals as participants, we didn't really super get into like what everyone did or how much money anyone made or what their level of magic practices were, anything like that. The three of us ended up like I connected a lot with Olivia the first night. I connected a lot with Megan the next day. We ended up being in a car together when we drove out to the salt flats. Um, and it brought up a whole lot of my issues with being the third wheel. And then when I booked the dragon retreat, I was actually like, I booked the space in Sedona without having any clue what, like, I just knew, you know, how it is when spirit's always guiding you. They're like, that's the place. Here's the down payment. Let's go. The next day, I sent Megan a Marco Polo, was like, hey, girl, I want you to co create this with me. And then she was gone, out of town actually, and I ended up talking to Olivia about it, and Olivia was like, yeah, let's do this. And then, dear Olivia, I'll tell you this. I am a fire, you guys know this, Leo, with Aquarius rising, so fire and air. Megan is a Sagittarius with something rising, but she's also like fire and air or fire and fire. And then Olivia is a Taurus with Virgo rising. So she is earth, 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 or maybe a Pisces. She's a, no, pretty sure she's a Taurus. Anyway, the opposite. So she's the exact opposite of me. And that's, you need that, right? Like I'm always telling you guys, you have to conquer your duality. You have to come in, have that marriage of the all of the elements. We need the water to create the steam. We need the air to help let that steam lift up. We need the fire to burn the fuel, and we need the grounding to keep us moving forward in our train, right? Like you need all four elements to have your train, to have your locomotive moving forward. So I got super triggered by Olivia's badass ability to take and structure things. So she gave me a spreadsheet, like a Google Sheets to fill out. And I got so intimidated. And she has this amazing business where she does branding and marketing for cannabis and psilocybin companies and has all these different, she's done like a part of panels where people ask her to come and speak, and she's done events planning for 7 years. So she is the exact person that I require to support me in creating my first ever retreat. And I got so triggered. So triggered. Mostly because I am not someone. A lot of you guys know this or have come to me. It's ironic because you come to me for structure, but what do we always say? Our ideal clients are usually ourselves. So I fight structure constantly, especially as someone who's trying to, burn down the actual the system and take down the man. Um, it's hard when someone who is very left brained, very a badass bitch in a man's world, which is who she is, which is what attracts me to her. But this is my baby. This is my project, my retreat that I'm taking point on. And I had to have an extremely uncomfortable conversation with her 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And yesterday, I talked to her yesterday. All of us. So I want to talk to you guys about what was happening in my body and how I was able to conquer this so that I didn't burn a bridge. So my MO, my MO is bridge burning. So if things aren't working out the way that I want them because I'm stubborn ass fucking Leo, then I will burn the bridge. I will just be like, you know what, fine, whatever, fuck you, move on. Or I go into super, super victim child mode of, okay, well, you just do it. You're right. You're right. Like, you just do it. You just do it. Like, you go ahead. You're smarter than me. You're prettier than me. You're more organized than me. Just go, 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 go. And the cognitive dissonance is such that now within my field, that when old habits like that come up, they are like so obvious. They're huge, obvious signs from the universe saying, hey, here's a trigger. Here's something you have to deal with. So what happened was that I was totally on board with Olivia and Megan and I co-creating together. Like, it felt so good and so on point. Even feeling like a little intimidated, right? I was feeling intimidated, but wasn't like resisting it until on Monday, randomly, wasn't random, of course. It's not, nothing's ever random. I finally okay, I'm gonna get into this spreadsheet. I'm so intimidated by this spreadsheet, but it's my idea that's in my head. She has set up this structure for me. She has set up this spreadsheet for me. I'm gonna get everything out into the spreadsheet. And that way I'm not trying to explain it and they can all see it. And then the three of us can get in there and we can make the best fucking most amazing retreat ever. And I had to literally pep talk my way into this is a Google Sheets folder that has like 7 different documents in it, and she had it's exactly what I needed. It's exactly what my left brain required to be able to get my right brain on board, like get it all out. Of course, because we're all fractals of each other. Of course, I created a whole left brain in Olivia and a whole right brain in Megan, and we're merging them together, but I had to get on board with it. I had to get on board with, holy shit, you created 2 women to support you through this. And what happened was that I was in that Google document for all of 5 minutes, and Olivia's calling me and telling me how to keep it more organized. And I did something that I'm so much better at, but I know that we all do. I made an assumption. And I I assumed that the only reason that she could have been calling me at the exact moment that she did was because she must be getting notified. Like, she must be getting emails that I'm in here. She must have been notified that I just made a, a new sheet, right? Because I'm used to being micromanaged. I'm super used to being micromanaged. I'm super used to um I'm super used to people not trusting me, okay? So when I used to be more type A and more organized and more structured, I was always answering to someone, whether it was a teacher or whether it was my dad or whether it was my boss. I would always have someone double checking my work, triple checking my work. Oh, never mind, you should do it this way, which is why I became an entrepreneur and why, when I was a little kid, I always just became the bossy bitch and took lead because I hated criticism. I never was able to receive criticism very well. I was like, you either do it and you know how to do it, you do it right the first time, or you don't do it all. Like, all those old adages, I've had to process all of that shit in my system. And this spreadsheet brought all of it back up for me. Then Megan called immediately right afterwards, and then all this other stuff happened, and everything was just convoluted, and I was supposed to be doing something else, and I had a voice lesson at 1, and all these things were happening, like crushing me. And I finally like talked to my coach even and was like, I don't know what to do because these two women are so powerful. And when it's just me and Olivia, it's fucking amazing. And when it's just me and Megan, it's fucking amazing. And no shit, literally, I tried to conference call us and they could talk to each other. And it was through my conference call, but I couldn't talk to them. Like, literally, Olivia calls me after I'm in the sheets. 10 seconds later, Megan calls me. I'm like, I was expecting her call. I merged the calls together. They are talking to each other, and I literally can't talk. Like, they cannot hear me for some reason. Talk about the biggest analogy of my fear of being the third wheel, of my fear of them just taking my idea and running with it, cutting me out, making sure that I receive nothing. I'm the one who booked it somehow, and I created so many stories. They're going to totally screw me over. I'm never going to bring anybody in, so they're going to want all the money for it. Um, I'm not going to be able to contribute. Oh my God, these women are like big, giant, great white sharks, and I'm a tiny little minnow. And what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I am going to get eaten alive. They're going to spit me out. They're going to make sure that I never get to show my face in this show business again. Like all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, just running through. All because I finally, like, okay, I'm going to get in and I'm going to do the sheets. And I got a phone call. I made up all these stories and all this stuff happened. So yesterday we got on a call, the three of us, like a Zoom call. And I had decided with my coach that, okay, I'm going to just give Olivia a fee and I'm actually going to create this whole thing with Megan. Even though it didn't really feel great about that and I really like didn't want to have that conversation, I was like, okay, that's the conversation I'm going to have. So, of course, she was like irritated. And we got to this point of just like the whole Zoom call was so uncomfortable because she could tell that I was upset and like afraid. Megan was just purely curious and actually holding space. And I finally just had this moment of like, you have to tell her why. You have to tell her why all of a sudden you're like cutting her down to not being a full percentage. Like this woman owns multiple $1 million. Like it really does. It feels like being in front of the people in Shark Tank and being like, "Oh my god, are they going to like me? Are they going to invest?" Even though I'm the only one that's made investments. This is my idea. They are here to support me, okay? I'm trying to show you guys what happens in my brain because I know that it happens in your brain too, especially with women when when badass boss babes get together to co-create. There's a reason why you usually only see partnerships or where the partnerships fizzle out because we let shit fester. We don't have the uncomfortable conversation. We don't tell them. We don't fearlessly and authentically, and you don't even have to fearlessly, at least courageously and authentically show up to a 3-person Zoom meeting and say what the fuck is up. Because you either want to oh, you need to support me, let's cut them out together, or oh, I'll just talk to you one on one, and then you still don't take it. Like, this was me being witnessed, having a total breakdown, and telling her this is what happened. And then finding out from her she was not micromanaging. She got an intuitive hit to call me because she could tell that I was like feeling anxious or something. She didn't know why, but she just needed to call me. Intuition works like that, right? Our psychic abilities work like that. I'm sitting there thinking about Olivia while I'm trying to get into the spreadsheet, like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I finally start going, and not but 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from her because she got an intuitive hit. And instead of trusting that there was another reason, I immediately created a story, immediately created all this bullshit, had like 24 hours of total fucking anger and hell and frustration and like, how am I ever going to do this? Because if I cut her out now, she's going to ruin me, right? This is someone who has a lot of resources, a lot of connections, who I like gave massages to and like treated her like my super good friend at the retreat because I didn't know anything about her And then once I learned who she really was, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is like, holy fuck. She's like an actual player, and I'm just like on a JV team. Like, here's a varsity player, and I'm on JV. And that's my own story, right? I was projecting all of my stories onto her, all of my stories of what it's like to be an entrepreneur who spent your 20s growing your business instead of growing your family. And then how much she must think of me, like, oh, I'm just this housewife who's trying to do this, blah 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 blah. This was all in my head, guys. Every single one of these things was in my fucking head. And I finally told her, I got it all out on the call. I told her everything that I just told you, and Megan was there witnessing it, and we had a nice big laugh about it. We had a huge laugh about it because the thing that Olivia said was, I knew that. I Nothing you said right now is surprising to me at all. The only thing that's surprising me is that you actually fucking said it out loud. That's it. She was ready to back off. She was gonna just follow what I wanted, and she was like, I was actually gonna just like be. I'm not here for a quickie. Like, I was gonna just pay her for the Google Drive or something. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. And that's when I realized like that I was upper limiting myself. I was creating an upper limit problem of, here I am telling the world that things get to be easy, that when you have an idea, the universe is going to support you. And I literally had an idea and I booked it. And my own brain is trying to expand into the capacity of holding a high end retreat at this level, having so much magic and transformation and fun and bliss and love and pleasure, that I manifested two badass, amazing women to play with. One is a whole left brain and one is a whole right brain, marrying them together to create this trifecta. It's what I wanted. And when the universe provided it so easily to me, all of my triggers came up. Every single one that needed to be looked at to be able then to move through, so that the retreat can be like amazing. So that we can set up that same container in the retreat for that sort of candor, right? Like, that's what happened. I defaulted. Anybody watches Picard? I defaulted to the rule of absolute candor. Like, here's what's up. The reason why I want to cut you down out of a percentage to a fee base is because I'm seriously terrified that if I do anything to piss you off, you're going to ruin me. You're going to take my name and run it through the mud. And she never expected me to say it out loud. And once I said it out loud, I could feel the energy. So, of course, I'm a big energy reader. I could feel the energy and I could read her face. And I realized that all of my fears were completely unjustified. They were all my shadow. They were all my own shit from my past, from all of the times that I did get burnt, from all of the times that I went all in with a group of ladies and then no one delivered what they said they were going to do. When I did end up saying, okay, guys, yeah, let's split 50-50, like, let's split our project apart, and I would fail the project because I was the only one who showed up and did my 25%. All of that came up to the surface, and I was able to process it all from, let's see, Sunday was when this all kind of started happening, when Olivia and I got on a call together solo, and she showed me the spreadsheet, and I told her my budget, and I could like feel from her like, oh, that's not very much. Like, oh, I thought this was going to be a bigger deal than that. Like, I just stretched into my biggest month ever by finally breaking out of my like past the 20K mark for a month, and told her what my budget was for this, and she was like, oh, because she's closing multiple $1 million deals. So that was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And the thing that broke me out, guys, I cannot stretch this enough, is just telling her. Just telling her exactly what was on my heart, exactly how I felt, exactly how terrified I was, exactly how all of my fears were there. And she's like, I feel like you're projecting. I was like, you're fucking right, I'm projecting. I am projecting like mad, and I don't even know what this conversation is going to end with. I might have just ruined any chance of us working together, but I don't know how to not be completely authentic and honest with you about how I feel in this moment. And that shifted everything. We were able to come up with so many amazing ideas for this retreat after that conversation. It was like a 2 hour conversation. The first 40 minutes of it was us like in this weird, like, I'm going to say this and you're going to say this, and we're dancing around it. And I finally just, you know what? This is what's going on. Honestly, I feel out of place. I feel like you two could just take this idea and run with it and go for it. I'm going to get left in the dust. And they're like, why would we leave you in the dust? We love you. You're amazing. We want to play with you. And that is what is so hard, okay? That's the real wound that you have to get over. You're not that little girl anymore. You're not the teenager who was always the third wheel. You're not the person who people use to get further ahead and you get left behind. You've done the work, the healings, the clearings, the activations. You found exactly who you are. And now that you know who you are, the world wants to play with you, and they're never going to be able to play with you if you stay locked in your ivory tower. You can't be saying that you're an empress and that you're going to rule an empire and that you're going to go out and serve the people when the people never get to see you because you're too afraid of what the people are going to do to you if you mess up, or if they realize that maybe you don't know as much as you thought you know, or you do know about a whole lot of stuff that isn't fucking spreadsheets. My zone, I'm not even like, I feel competent ish in spreadsheets. I am not confident in a lot of tech. I hire out most of my tech for that reason. I am a like, literally, I have 3 notebooks, all these different color pens sitting right here. I am a pen and paper girl. Like, literally. This is all, like, my desk is just filled with notebooks and pens and papers and sticky bag pads and whiteboards and uh yeah, super old school, like super duper old school. And then I take it and I give it to my VA and she puts it into a digital format for you guys to see. Like, I can do a Facebook Live, but if you tried to go get me to like make a web sales page, nope. So I'm telling all of you guys this for a very simple reason, that as we continue to co-create this whole new timeline together, as we continue on the ascension revolution, as we continue to show up and be the women that are leading the charge of, this is what it looks like when we are in alignment with source. This is what it looks like when we are all fucking dragons, when we are actually playing together and we're not thinking about work, when we're just playing and living and creating in our own zones of genius, then we can come together. And guess what? No one's ever going to do anything except for what's in their zone of genius. Because if I decide that I can't do this back end thing, and Megan decides she's not going to do this back end thing, and Olivia's like, I don't want to fucking do it either, guess what? We can either delete it or we can delegate it. None of us actually have to do what the other like, none of us have to do something that we don't want to do. We don't stand for that in our own lives individually, so why would we stand for it when we come together? And it's because we've been conditioned to believe that someone's going to get fucked, someone's going to get screwed over. We have a whole term, the third wheel. So we shy away from groups, we shy away from doing anything outside of our comfort zone of being with just one other woman, right? One-on-ones, doing anything like that. And now we have this amazing, amazing, fucking life changing, I cannot wait for you guys to sign up retreat and get your goodie bags. Like, we're having pre goodie bags. You get pre sessions. You get like a 3 hour gene key session. You're getting a bespoke dragon invocation. You're getting 2 oracle decks. You're getting elixirs and skincare and crowns. Like, the stuff in just the swag bag alone and the services is worth the amount that the retreat is going to be charged. And then you have the whole fucking retreat with shamanic trips to the vortexes and plant medicine rituals and naked mirror rituals and moonlight dances and a whole goddess spa day where we're having, I know a lot of you guys haven't had a massage since March, so we're having massage therapists come in and estheticians come in. We're having an entire dragon photo shoot done so that you can have new, beautiful, amazing dragon goddess level pictures for your website or for your Etsy page or for whatever it is that you're doing for when you get interviewed for podcasts. All of that stuff we wanted to birth and we wanted to create together. And my baby that I was birthing and putting out there, I was scared. I was scared that I was going to relive high school where I gave a great idea and someone else took it and got straight, an A on their project and I didn't get anything, right? I got left out. I didn't get the credit. I didn't, whatever it is, all of the stories. And because I have so many tools in my toolbox, and because I just said it, I just came on everything that, like, I don't have to be afraid of her watching this video because everything that I've said is exactly what I said to her. That's what's so cool when you come into being a dragon, when you come into being fearless and authentic. You're not worried about what gets back to anyone. You're not worried about what they're going to think about you. Because guess what? You already told them before you went and told anybody else. The first person you told that you had a problem with them was them. Okay, maybe not the first person, because technically I talked to my coach first. But in the heat of the moment, when I was put in the flames, why are you doing this? Like, why am I getting delegated down to, just a few things and getting a fee percentage and being asked to show up as a participant instead of as a facilitator? I had two options. I could have hid around and behind excuses. Oh, well, I just think that you're the ideal client, because that's how I started. Oh, I just think that you're the ideal client for this, and we'd really like your connections, but I don't know if you're like really seeing the vision, and you're very, very left brained, and I just. And I could have kept saying that. I could have just kept that on repeat, which is the same thing that most of us go through. We know that there's something deeper. We know, and we're just like, I know what you're going to say, but you're too afraid to say it. So whatever. And she did know. She knew exactly what I was going to say. To the point that when I said it, she spit her water out because she was not expecting me to actually be candid, and honest about the fact that I was terrified. Absolutely terrified that she was going to single handedly ruin me if I did anything that was out of line because I felt micromanaged. And I wasn't even being micromanaged. She had an intuitive hit. So I really just want you to take that away, that we have so many stories that we think are justifiable because our brains have so many stories of similar situations that it immediately creates a story. And unless we have the discernment, the capacity, the tools to question every thought that's going through our system, is this a valid thought? Is this thought in service to my mission? Is this thought something that is a current thought or current belief? Or is this an old belief that I just haven't even dealt with? And for me, it was that I hadn't dealt with it. I haven't co created anything with anyone. I'm legitimately trying to remember the last time that I ever told someone that I wanted to do something with them and we took equal parts in doing it. That was a woman. I don't think I can. I don't think this is like a real life light bulb moment happening here, people. I don't think ever in my whole life that I've ever gone in completely 50-50 or completely split three ways where everyone did three-way work, everyone brought in three people at like whatever. I don't think that's ever happened. And that was like a protective mechanism for me. I was the one that was going to get in trouble if I got below a B, so I was never going to trust other people with my grades. So I might as well just take on extra baggage, extra work, give everyone else a grade, right? Receiving the support. I'm doing a whole thing starting September 1st, the 30 days of receiving. It's not just receiving money, it's receiving support, it's receiving criticism, it's receiving pleasure, it's receiving pain, it's receiving the sensation and being able to stop the story before it starts, to be able to say, no, it gets to be this easy. I get to plan this amazing retreat for these 12 women, and I get to create a fuck ton of money afterwards too because of it. And I get to have two other women who are going to show up with their 30%, 33.3, blah, 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 blah percent, and split all the costs evenly, and split all the work evenly, and split all the profits evenly and easily. And anything that we don't want to do that isn't in any of our zones of genius, we can either delete or we can delegate it. And it gets to be that fucking simple. But when you have 30 years of being the third wheel, you have 30 years of stories of getting burned and fucked over, and then you start going into your past lives. Like, I've been betrayed by coven sisters. I've been betrayed by my own sisters in past lives. The amount of betrayal and getting burned, like getting completely fucked over, that I have dealt with in my soul's lineage is a lot. It's a lot. So, of course, it came up. Of course, now that I've birthed my dragon, I'm here to play and I've created all these spaces. And I got over my shit during Lionsgate and I went to the retreat and I realized that I was at the retreat because I was actually ready to birth my own retreat and I needed support and that I got the support so fast and so easy. Of course, my body contracted. So many people message me and they're like, oh, I'm finally a dragon. I'm finally a dragon. I'm never going to collapse again. I never said that. I never said that, people. I still contract. I know it now. I know when I've slipped back into the paradox of the phoenix who rises and then burns and then rises and then burns. I am very aware of what that feels like energetically. I'm very aware of how that shows up in my thought patterns. I'm very aware of what I would need to do to fix it. And what you need to do to fix it is show the fuck up and tell them exactly what's on your heart, no matter what, because there are no stakes. So what? My whole business gets burned to the ground. I'll build a new one. My soul is here to serve a divine purpose. However that looks, my soul will do that. Whether it's as the dragon doula, whether that's as president of the United States, whether that's as whatever, it will happen. And that's the vision that I hold. And I have to remember the fact that I have that discernment means that the universe is like, holy shit, she's open to receive. The way is open here, girl. Like, here you go. Here are these gifts. Here's all this prosperity. And I have to be able to receive it. I have spent 2 fucking years working my ass off energetically, getting out of my head and into my body, building my body from scratch pretty much to have a cup like this right here, ready to receive. And then I keep doing this. Oh shit, no. Oh my god, no, no, no. I should go. I need to go grind the coffee myself. I need to go. First, I gotta go grow the coffee beans by myself. And then I gotta go roast them by myself, harvest them by myself. Like, I am the epitome of the little red hen when it comes to that. Because it's not so much like, my thing is that I have so much fear of being wrong and doing it wrong and getting in trouble that I'd rather just do it myself. Because at least if I do it myself, then I'm gonna be right, and there's no one that's gonna be around to punish me or get mad at me or to get into a conflict. Like, conflict avoidance was my way of getting, like, that was my survival mode. I will survive by just doing all the work myself, because if I do it all myself, there's no one to fight me. It's my way or the highway, and guess what? My way was what would win. But then my way was also a lot of the times the low road, low and lonely, and working my ass off on projects that really would have been a lot easier if all of us had been working together. But I was too afraid of getting in trouble. I was too afraid of the consequences on me, and probably took a lot of learning experiences from kids, honestly, by not allowing them to fail, by my own not allowing myself to fail. And that could be a whole other live stream. But when you're healing specifically for women, for those of you who are stepping into this high role, that you are learning exactly who you are and what you are and how you serve, now that you're standing up and you're saying, hey, I'm a motherfucking dragon and I'm here to play. Well, when other dragons come to play with you, you need to be able to still say exactly how you feel. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they might be bigger dragons or have a bigger playground or any of that stuff. You still always know who you are as a fractal of God. And you always know what you are as a creator manifested in form. And you always know how you serve, which is by singing your own song, by showing up in your own unique frequency, by being you, by being fearlessly, authentically you, even in your projections, even in your shadows, even when you're swamping through the shit of your life and navigating this new giant expansion. All you have to do is take your hand off the cup. Just be like, yes, I'm open to receive this. I'm open to receive the criticism. I'm open to receive the support. I'm open to receive the feedback, and I'm open to receive the prosperity. I'm open to receive it all because I know I can hold it. You're not going to break me. Nothing can take me down. There's no one that's going to make me go away. I don't care what they do to me. I am not afraid. And when the fear kicks in, I know exactly how to conquer it by speaking it, by getting it out of me, by saying the truth, by having the hard conversation, by getting unfucking comfortable. And then having such a beautiful breakthrough and such a beautiful birth that when you guys see this sales page next week, it's gonna blow your fucking mind. We already have spots sold out. If you want to be one of the 12 women, like, let me know so that I can get you the information that you're gonna need, so that when the page goes live, you're there and you're on it and you can sign up. Because when these 12 spots are gone, they're fucking gone. We don't have space in the house to add new spots. This isn't like one of those retreats where I say, oh, only 12 spots and I actually have 15. Like, no, we have 12 beds. Well, technically, yeah, we have 12 beds. We have 12 sleeping spots. That is it. So, I mean, if you want to come play, come play. If you want to learn what it's like to be a fucking dragon and play at this level, that you went from having, barely making, I've more than quadrupled my income just this summer, my monthly incomes, just by not allowing myself to ever sit in my own shit any longer. I don't sit in the goo. I don't sit there and like chew and no. If I get called out, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you don't like it, like, that could have gone a totally different way, but guess what? I brought that in for myself. I made the awkward. I created all of it from the very beginning. It was all me, and it's always all me. And you even watching this right now, it's all you. So if you're looking for that support, if you're looking for someone who knows exactly what it's like to go through all of that, I'm sure a lot of what I said resonated with a lot of you, because, you know, like I always say, I belong to you. You belong to me. We are here on this journey together. However I can serve you, please let me know. This is where my dragon invocation, like, it saved my ass, to be honest, to be able to sit here so many times and just be in my own frequency, and to be able to sit here and be like, no, this is what I want to create. And if I want to create an epic, amazing retreat with these two ladies, then I need to get over myself. I need to get over my own shit. I got to get over my own stories and clear it out and have the hard conversation so we can move the fuck on, and so this weirdness isn't there anymore. The weirdness is there because you let the weirdness be there. The second you say it, as soon as you shine a light on that shadow, it's not a shadow anymore. It's right there for everyone to see and for everyone to deal with. And I can guarantee you that if you're having these thoughts about someone and it's making you like, you're like a little uneasy to even be around them and you don't know how to talk about it, I can guarantee you they already know. And they just don't think that you are brave enough to say anything about it. So go prove them wrong. Go have the hard conversation. Go do the thing. Go create. Go play. And if you need help with that sister wound stuff, the womb healing stuff, the past life stuff, that's what you got me for. Because I've been there. I'm still doing it. So I show up and I do these 40-minute tangents for you to see so that you know that you're really not alone when it comes to these levels, and that sometimes the person that you need the most isn't someone who's 5, 6, 10 steps ahead of you. It's the person only 2 or 3 steps ahead of you that has been there just recently, who can tell you exactly what you need to do to get through the shit, how to get through the goo, how to just do the next right thing and realize that what you are doing right now is so much bigger than you. And what you need to do is show up fearlessly and authentically every single fucking day of your life, no matter who you're with, no matter what they do. Just be you. Okay? I love you. Thank you. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your Tuesday, and I will talk to you all soon.